Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Tonight is going to be a blast. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be awesome. We are taking question and answer. A question came to me in one of the programs I do have on She Matters, and somebody is going to help me to put it up there. But let me read it out. Powerful question, and I'm going to break it down. Oh, good evening, ma. I'm a fan of your Sunday program on radio. Please, ma, I need your advice before I do something nasty. Good evening. I'm greeting everyone. So let me read it again. Good evening, ma. I'm a fan of your Sunday program, ma, on radio. Please, ma, I need your advice before I do something nasty. My husband of 9 years, please note it. Good evening, good evening. My husband of 9 years has been cheating on me. Please note the word cheating on me. No respect for me. He insults me at will. I listened to one of his recordings where he was asking his girlfriend how well he satisfied her in bed. I have been sex starved for so long. I can't count the number of time we've had sex in these 9 years. He complains of tiredness each time I want it, and when he does itself, he wanted to say foreplay, say foul play. Very interesting, don't mind me. No foreplay. The sex is more like rape. He accused me of having spiritual husband. Ma, I keep treating infection anytime we had sex. He had sex with me. He has not kissed or touched my breast before, ma. He goes out and returns late at night, smelling of alcohol. I've seen condom and cigar in his bag. We don't have any child yet. Please, ma, I don't know what to do. He's a deacon in our church. Wow, this is going to pull me to discuss some deep things today. Can I say this to everyone hearing the sound of my voice? When it comes to infidelity, when it comes to extramarital relationship, to a woman is painful than rape. To a woman is painful than the death of a child. To a woman, there's no pain that is excruciating than the pain of infidelity, both ways. Don't let me say to a woman, to any man, any human being, infidelity is something that has made a lot of women to be in a mental home. Some permanently nurture cancer. Some have permanent migraine. A woman just sent me a voice note now that she's been having this constant headache. Some, it is anger. Some, it is blood pressure. Think of any ailment that could be attached to emotional pain. Women that their husbands are having an affair or their wives are acting out. But because it's a woman that asked this question, pardon me to start talking from the woman's side. But it's the same. Now, what people don't understand is very clear. If you listen to one of my episodes on maybe it's Lagos on She Matters, I was talking about purging your family tree. When it comes to any form of addiction, any form, it could be to sex, it could be to drug, it could be to anything, as long as you know that, is affecting and is inflicting pain into your soul, it stems from our upbringing. What the inlet of any form of sexual struggle comes from parenting. If your father is, I'm fine, thank you. If your father is a polygamist, the spirit of your father will look for you. because there's what we call the pattern of the bloodline. I can give you multiple examples, from David to Solomon to Tamar to Amnon to Absalom. Whatever flows in the family system naturally comes out from the bloodline to what you see physically. I'm going to answer a question, but I'm taking you through the foundation. That is one. One inlet is bloodline. And that's why I tell people, when you are getting married, understand the dynamics of where your wife or your husband is coming from. The reason being that when we were younger, when we were younger, when I was younger, I'm talking about before I'm 60 next year, talking about older age, older times, the parents find out from the family what is there. Can we marry here? Is there any madness in the family? Do they have a stroke? Do they prosper if they marry them? Is there no pattern of barrenness in the family? And in all honesty, all the time, it dictates to the intended couple what is expected. They try to trace the root, the family line, because everybody knows. Now, I'm talking about the natural parenting, finding out. What about medical world? When you want to have a child or you have a reason to go to the hospital, they ask you questions while you are being clapped. Is there diabetics in the family? Is there any hypertension in the family? Meaning that even in the science world, in the medical world, they understand that something has to do with the pattern of the bloodline. Until you understand that, you will not understand the dynamics of addiction. By the grace of God, I'm a sexual addiction therapist, so I understand the inlets. Now, addiction is addiction, whether sexual, whatever it is, drug, marijuana, cocaine, overeating, anger, rage, whatever it is, a pattern of your lifestyle. Addiction is you form a habit, and that habit has become your second nature. These are the things you do reflexly, unintentional. That is one inlet. I'm doing that. I'm saying this because I need to answer this woman, and I need her to understand what is going on in her marriage, instead of trying to have blood pressure and get angry and lose her mind, not even having a child. If she had had a child, it would have been a little bit better, because at least she will find comfort and succor from the child. Transfer the pain to at least something will feel in the pain. Now, don't get me wrong, it is not still good if something has to feel the pain. It is not still good. You need to live your life out of anything feeling the emptiness. You need to have your self-worth, self-validation, self-appreciation, self-affirmation, not having to have someone to become your cushion or your support or your pillar. When that pillar goes off or it crashes or the support is no more there, what happens? So, but I'm saying in the content of what this woman is asking, if she had had a child, it should have been a little bit better. I have my daughter, I have my son that would give me a little bit of comfort when this man is not there. But that is on his side. Now, coming to sexual struggle, I said there are 3 inlets to any form of sexual struggle. I've talked about the bloodline. I've said that scatteredly in 1 or 2 episodes, so I don't want to go deep into that. Then we have trauma-based addicts. There are people, when anything happens to them, that inflicts pain into them, that makes them feel very sad, probably losing a loved one, losing money, failure at work, maybe you were sacked or something. When you have pain, your soul is not permitted to be pained all the time. So what addiction does is, for a way, you use it in a way to medicate a pain. Maybe you are the least of your siblings, your parent did not appreciate you, they never gave you another chance, they don't believe in you, you get validated with friends, with other substance, sex, drug, clubbing, joining a cult. You just want to belong. That addiction came in through trauma. Some, it is trauma that brought the addiction. Now, the third one, I need to explain that, is we are living in a society that is highly addictive. From toothpaste to socks, sex is being promoted. Sexual act has become one for penny. Anywhere you find people working in any establishment, there are a lot of sexual insinuations that people pass round in the midst of themselves. And some are comfortable. Some are comfortable with it because it's a norm. I'm still going to talk about that. It has become a norm that when somebody says, help me, say, I can't help you, it's your husband that will help you. You know, they are insinuating, they are bringing sexual thoughts to conscious and people's subconscious mind. So we are living also in an addictive society. You see some ladies, they will dress in a way that the next thing they are asking for is sex. And naturally, men are visual. Sexual contamination, pollutions are everywhere, flickering everywhere. I've seen cases of married women sending their nude picture to a man, vice versa, naked picture, trying to show their private part. A lot of husbands have apprehended their wives. I have a lot of cases here that they will say, my wife is sending her breast, her private part to another man that is not their husband. Good evening. That is not their husband. So it shows that the system itself. Now, when I was growing, I've said it before, the only form of pornography I know while growing up is Ikebe Super. Now, a click away, you are in a porn site. I made you to listen to one of the voice notes of a woman being sexualized as parents, of a woman that her son actually saw pornography, not pictures now, film on the daddy's phone and watched it for a very long time. Now, it wasn't like that before. The moral standard has been so lowered that sex is everywhere. So if you are not even struggling with the pattern of the bloodline, there is nothing like, okay, you were traumatized, you had to medicate your pain, something happened to you. What about addictive society? You associate drug with sex, associate all sorts of clubbing to sexuality. People go to strip clubs where they meet, they go watch ladies dance naked and all sorts. So when we are dealing with this issue of, oh, my husband is acting out, my husband is doing something, the one I just read to you, you will see that it is beyond the man. So killing the man, trying to stigmatize the person that is struggling with sexuality is not the solution. The solution is, if that person is willing to be helped, if that person wants to do therapy, if that person knows that I am done, I'm tired of my sexuality or my addiction, I want help, please send me a DM. Help is available. God has given us all that pertain to life and godliness. So you are not going to get bothered about recovery. Now, if the person has a personality disorder in the class of a narcissist, he might not change. The narcissists don't change. Please, when I say things or you hear things from people, do your own research. We are living in a global village. Like, the world is small. It's on your phone. It's on your iPad. It's a click away. Check. Can a narcissistic personality disorder change? They don't have the capacity to change. What changes a man? I can't overflog that. What changes a man is insight, taking responsibility, accepting that I committed adultery, I stole, I did this, I did that. I am sorry. I'm not claiming that I'm okay. Please forgive me. Penitency, restitution, going all the way, apologizing every day shows that the person that has committed adultery is really repentant and is penitent. That is one. So when we are dealing with addiction here, we are not dealing with people that have personality disorder. I'm talking about someone that has a good heart, good intention, struggling. Paul said, what I don't want to do, I do. It is what I don't want to do is what I'm doing. What I am doing is what I don't want to do. Who will deliver me? His soul was crying for help. When David was apprehended by the prophet, Nathan told him that you slept with another man's wife and you killed the man. David tore his clothes, poured ashes on his head, left the throne. That is what I'm saying. When you are dealing with a man that is not a narcissist or does not have personality disorder, that is willing to go all the way to pay the price, paying the price of changing and recovering to an extent that he also will become a preacher of addiction, preacher of adultery, preacher of infidelity. His life or her life, because I'm talking about a woman here, his life will now become another voice of recovery for other people struggling. That is when you know that this person has changed. He's not ashamed to talk about the things he has done in secret for other people to be healed. He becomes a wounded healer. In the light of this truth, anybody that is struggling with his or her sexuality and wants to be free can easily be free. Under 1 year, 2 years, you can be sober and make bold to say, any woman apart from my wife has not had any influence on me sexually, or I'm not attracted to the person sexually. That is awesome. Let me quickly apologize for last week. We had a crusade. Tomorrow we are going for rally. If I come late, if I come early, I will still join us tomorrow. If not, I'll be here on Thursday by the grace of God. Now, I just said that in person so that if I'm not there tomorrow, you not say, she's not consistent. I love to be consistent. Consistency is the game of life. Now, when you are dealing with people that are struggling with their sexuality and they know that they cannot continue like that, they keep asking for help. They keep groaning, traveling, trusting that somebody will come to their aid to be helped. That is important. Now, look, let's go back to the question that this woman asked. Please, ma, I need your advice. Before I do something nasty, my husband of 9 years has been cheating on me. When it comes to cheating, cheating is multidimensional. Watching pornography, you are cheating. You are cheating. Masturbation is cheating. God ordained sexual relationship to be enjoyed between two people. Homosexuality is cheating. Lesbianism is cheating. Cheating, you can be cheating emotionally. When you feel comfortable in the company of another person that is not your spouse, and you are free to say anything. When you are down, when you are low, this person becomes a source of comfort and relaxation to you. You are cheating. So it's not only extra having an affair physically that you are caught with that is called cheating. Emotional adultery is everywhere. Psychological adultery is everywhere. Financial adultery is worse. Let me tell you something about financial adultery. You are keeping something from your husband, your finances from your husband or your wife because you gamble. You are keeping finances from your husband or your wife because you don't want him to know that you are doing something in secret. Probably you are trying to do an exam, you are doing something. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm talking about relationship that is normal and you are willing to make things work and you don't want to be an adulterer. But coming to this place now, 9 years cheating. You don't allow cheating to go for long. Now, a lot of people, the reason why I started by telling you the foundation is a lot of people don't have an idea. Why would a man cheat? Somebody was saying that, why would a man leave his wife and look for another woman? Excuse you, if your wife or your husband is not meeting your emotional needs, sexual need, psychological need, financial need, physical need, does not call for adultery. I'm not saying you are not having feelings. You can divorce properly and go your way and remarry. But as long as you are still married, you are Mrs. So, or you are married to Mr. So, and you involve yourself in all of this, it is adultery. And it is a sin before God. You may like it, you may not like it. Don't let anybody give you any story that the reason why your husband is leaving you and go to commit adultery is because there's no reason for it. The worst that can happen is get a professional help, do couples therapy, pay for therapy, get somebody to mediate, to be an umpire, to help you to work on your marriage. But telling me, well, I don't have a choice. A man asked me a question, I will read it next week. He said, it's actually a voice note during the program. Let me relay it. He said, when you have a woman that when you come back from work, he doesn't hug you, does not welcome you, just say, children, go and greet your daddy, does not remove your jacket, does not take care of you. If you fall in love with that woman, is it a sin? Yes, sir, it's a sin. You can always communicate to your spouse, this is what I want. And I've told us, how do I communicate? Talk more about your feelings. Don't confront him. You should have. You are not. You should know. You are not. You are bad. Don't use you. Talk about your feelings. I felt bad when so and so happened. It gives you joy. It gives you peace. Any man that loves you will respect your feelings. Any woman that loves you will respect your feelings. Now, if you are able to communicate it, your spouse will not have any reason to come back from work, or you come back from work and she's not greeting you, or you are not greeting him. Those are unnecessary alibi. There is no reason for infidelity. There is no reason for it. God said marriage is honorable, bed undefiled. Warmongers and adulterers, God will judge. God will not lower his standard for anybody. As long as you still have you have the marriage certificate, you are under an oath in that marriage, there's no reason to act out. So nobody should give you, there's no reason, nobody should tell you, why would your husband leave you and go and sleep around? He's sleeping around because, as a matter of fact, the Bible says when a man is committing adultery because of his own lust, not because of anybody, not because of what somebody had done. It's because you are lusting. It's because you have a problem. Deal with your addictive mindset and get yourself back on track and come back to your family. Don't give unnecessary excuse. There is even distance relationship. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when you are miles apart, the temptation is high, you're struggling. Thank God for visual. You can actually sleep together on the phone. You can be together. You can still fit in your emotional, vibes together in the midst of having no choice than to be distant. That's the truth. You don't have no choice. Circumstances comes, situation allows it for a while. It's not a permanent separation. It's for a season. And because it is for a season, you can actually make up for it. And before you know it, you are good to go. So don't ever give me an excuse because my wife is not around, because my husband is not around. Please get to your telephone, do video calls, communicate, express love. I miss you, I love you, I'll be back soon, we're going to be together soon. Keep talking, keep communicating, keep giving yourself emotional, comfort. So please don't tell me I'm committing adultery, I'm fornicating. I don't want to talk about fornication. I'm committing adultery because my husband is not around, my wife is not around, or my wife is not giving me sex, or my husband is denying me. There's no room for adultery. That's God's standard, and his commandments are not grievous. If God tells you not to commit adultery, it's not God that will have sexually transmitted disease. It's not God that will not be able to pray. It's not God that his conscience will be hitting him hard. It's not God, it's you. So it's all about you. It has nothing to do with God. Let me continue. He insults me, and I will listen to one of his recordings when he's asking a girlfriend how well he satisfied her in bed. This man is, thank you. This person is an addict. He has addiction problem. His addiction has nothing to do with I don't have a child. A lot of people don't understand. Marriage is not for having children. Marriage is for fellowship. It's for being together, company. God said, therefore a man will leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife, and they will become one flesh. Now, one flesh is intimacy, sexual fulfillment, happiness. Then later, you can now start having children. Then he now said, be fruitful and multiply. So fruitfulness and multiplication has to do with being together. So if there is no child, it does not give room for infidelity. Now, I've seen people that have 5 children, 6 children, 7 children, 2, 1, and still the man is committing adultery. So there's no reason for it. When we have foundational issues, when we are struggling sexually, there's a problem there. Please don't associate my problem not having children. Don't associate it with not having children. Don't associate infidelity with not having children. Don't do it. It is not a reason for it. If you don't have a child, enjoy yourself, have fun. Let the world see that these people are happy people, not because they have children. Children are God's heritage. God will give you your own child. He will give you children, but don't give it an excuse or an alibi to keep having extramarital relationship. Now, this woman has caught the man multiple times. Can I say this to everyone? I'm going to shake tables tonight. The moment you are sure, you have evidence that your husband or your wife is committing adultery, set a boundary. If you feel like having sex with him, tell him to use protection. I've handled cases of people having to be HIV positive today and they never committed adultery. Now, this woman said she has been treating infection and she's looking for the fruit of the womb. I don't know what is wrong with some women. Are you as desperate as not being able to know your worth, to know your value, to know what you want for life and from life? If you don't know what you want from life and for life, is a problem. If you are looking for the fruit of the womb, you are treating infection. Who knows what is blocking your tube? And you are still there for 9 years. I'm not soliciting that you should leave, but set a healthy boundaries. Tell the person, seek help. If you are not seeking help, I'm done. You have one life to live. You know how many, you need to listen to what I listen to every day of my life. This morning, I just told somebody, I said, my job is not okay. It's not normal. I'm not normal. You hear things, you jump out from the bed. You hear things, you are shedding tears, putting yourself in that person's shoes. All in the name of, culture, stay there, die there. Tradition, stay there, die there. Religion. Please, don't ever quote religion that says you should stay there. For a woman that is in an abusive relationship, it is wickedness on your part to do that kind of counseling. I told a lady in the car, I said, God is your father. Would God cheat on you? Will God have extramarital affairs? Will God give you infection? If God is your father and is your lover, is everything to you, and God said, husband, love your wife as Christ has loved the church, would Christ do that to me as a church? Would Christ insult me? Would Christ cheat on me? Would Christ give me infection? Would Christ sleep with every dick, dumb, and Harry? Would Christ have sex with my maid, my friend, my daughter, my members, my acquaintances? You know, there's a, listen to me, hear me clearly. Do you know, you remember the case of that doctor that is very good in dealing with cervical cancer? Kate Enshon mentioned him rather. Is going to face the law, having sexual activity with a child. And you are telling that woman to keep quiet and not say anything. I don't know what people are thinking when they are talking, when they are quoting Bible. Well, anybody can use Bible to support his wickedness and his insanity. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. You want to commit adultery, you can tell me Solomon had 300 wives, 700 concubines, 1,000 mother-in-law. Yes, you can say that. But you know, your conscience tells you it was not so from the beginning. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and cleave to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. That is the standard. Forget the rest of the story. So a man cannot be giving you infection for 9 years of your life. Take 9 years out of your life. That is no life. Even if you are 22 when you are married, then you are 31. You are getting close to, they call it elderly primate. You are looking for the fruit of the womb. The man is sleeping around. You are sure. Please tell him, no way. No way. Set a boundaries. It does not change anything. Listen to me and listen to me good. I know a lot of people that are wickedly quoting scriptures upside down to suit their wickedness. They will tell you, pray. This woman has not prayed for 9 years. She has prayed. There's something God will do that you cannot do. There's something you will do God cannot do. God gave you brain so that I can rest. When you are going through such a thing, take your stand against any form of abuse, verbal, emotional, sexual, especially when it comes to infidelity. Now, all is the same, or all are the same, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to, you are looking for a child as a woman, you are being infected all the time, and the person is not seeing anything wrong in it, still comes home, abuse you. Now, the point is, you see, the brain of this man has been so hijacked by other extramarital relationship that he said, let me read it. I count number of times we had sex in these 9 years. He complains of tiredness each time I want it. And you are looking for children. What are you waiting for? He's telling you, get out of my life. Why would you wait for something that is not real? Well, it's denial. Keep lying to yourself. I'm so upset. I don't want to say what I want to say. Stop lying to yourself. You are using denial to cover up, to mask, to cover your pain. It's good for a while, but not for 9 years of your life. You know, sometimes when an addict notices that, now let me put it this way, when you are bullied, and a bully when you bully a bully back, they calm down. If this lady, 2nd year of this marriage, and she has been noticing that when the man wants to have sex with her, I will say he's tired, he's like raping her, she's looking for the fruit of the womb, accusing her of spiritual husband. So he's the one that does not have spiritual wife, sleeping around, having multiple sexual relationship, bringing infection home. He does not have spiritual wife. The 2nd year you notice that, set a boundaries. I can't. Enough. Listen, out of marriage is not out of life. I'm telling you the truth. Because listen, this woman will not have life, and she might end up having HIV. She might end up being HIV positive. Now, when a woman is is infected with any form of sexually transmitted disease, it does not show on time. It goes to every part. That's why, you know, as a woman, you are some of you are married, I'm talking to you. When you have sex with your husband and the man has come and gone, stood up and whatever, 3-4 days, you are still feeling this spermatozoa inside of your vagina as a woman. Meaning that if he has poured infection there too, you are having it there. It stays more. It takes time for a man to notice that he's infected. For a woman, you can be infected 3 days after sexual intercourse. So you are dealing with infection and you are looking for the fruit of the womb. Where do we go from here? And such men, look at it. He accused me of having spiritual husband. I've been treating infection anytime he had sex with me. He has not kissed or touched my breast before. There's no romance now. This man has told you, I don't want you. I don't want this relationship. Why do you want to die there? I'm not saying you should not make effort, but when you are making effort, make effort as a woman that has dignity, has value, has worth. Know what you worth. If you know what you worth, you will not take nonsense. And if you don't know your worth, you can't carry your weight, and nobody steps on your head without your consent. Any form of abuse is an aberration, is an abomination before God. God will not be your father and treat you like a trash. God treats his children well. He treats them with dignity, with honor, with value, with virtue. Now, he goes out and returns late at night, smelling alcohol. I've seen condom and cigar in his bag. We don't have any child yet. Please help me. I don't know what to do. And he's a deacon in there. I don't want to say he's a deacon. I want to say he's a chicken. Now, please, let me balance this. I'm just using that to lighten up my tension. Being religious does not stop you from being an addict and a narcissist. When you are born again, it's your spirit that is born again. Your soul is not born again. Your body is not born again. When you understand that, you will not be cajoled, manipulated, witchcraft into religion. Now, maybe what has kept that woman in her church is because the man is a deacon. What would I say? What would they say? Listen to me. What anybody can say anything. He that wears the shoes know where it hurts. When you understand that you are the one feeling the heat, you will understand on how to get out or do something. Do you know it's possible for, maybe this one is not even a narcissist. All this man would want probably is enough. I'm done. I can't take it anymore. That could be a wake-up call for him, being a deacon, possibly. Because until the pain level of an addict rises, they don't change. So if an addict knows that, hey, hear me, an old deacon, his wife had left and is not ready to come back until things are straightened up, he might change if he's not a narcissist. But if he's a narcissist, he will keep doing what he's doing that is not productive. His life is miserable, he's not productive, he's not getting anything from life. He will still be there. That's a mental illness. When you marry a man, women to a narcissist, when you marry a man like that, just know that it's a lost cause. Follow God. I'm not the one that said it. Go on social media and find out. Google narcissistic personality disorder. You will see it all over. You will have over 1 million information on narcissistic personality disorder. And if that man fits into that mode, just know that you have lost the cause. It's not your portion. It is not where you want to live the rest of your life. This woman, she needs proper therapy and counseling. And let me say this before I leave you this evening. When it comes to counseling and therapy, if your wound is not treated, it's going to be there for life. And nobody heals alone. You don't heal in isolation. You heal with a strong, solid support system. Your support system, your counselor, your therapist will teach you how. And of course, when you are doing therapy with me or counseling with me, there's an oath of commitment to obey. Because I've seen women, they go back and forth. They act like a pendulum when they are about to make strong decision that will change their lives for good. There's a lady now, she didn't have a child, beautiful girl. She has been in that marriage for 25 years of her life, and the man is the one that has sexual problem, still assaulting her, still abusing her, still doing all sorts, and they didn't have children. And she was with me 5 years ago. I'm talking about therapy and counseling. I told her, I said, set a boundaries. Let this man know that it can't continue like this. She didn't answer me. 5 years, she's here now again. And I told her, you'll be here again in 10 years if Jesus tarries, because I'm still going to be alive by the grace of God. So why would you continue to go around in circle in the name of, what do I do? Tomorrow you want it, tomorrow you don't want it, tomorrow you want it. Even the man or the woman in question will not take you serious. There's a time in the life of a man that you make a decision, and that decision determines your destiny. And let me say something here. When you make such decisions, it might be tough. It's going to be tough. Not that it might be tough. It's going to be tough. You're going to be stigmatized. People will talk. They will say things. They will abuse you. They will backbite you. They will blackmail you. Please, when you are going through stuff in your life that nobody knows what you are going through, and they are not ready to ask you questions to explain to them, wear an imaginary clothes. Whatever. So what? It's not your business. Make sure you have clothes. You know, I wear clothes that have petals in my head. Whatever. You are not wearing my shoes. You don't know where it hurts. Mind your business. Go and marry him. Go and marry her. Let him give you infection. Let him keep abusing you. Let him give you HIV. Write it and wear it, depending on what you are going through. So whatever anybody is saying is not your business, because you know that if God is your father, he won't treat you like this. And let me tell every woman hearing the sound of my voice today, based on this question, that woman cannot be free alone without checking into a therapy, checking into a counseling sessions, and pay. You pay per hour for counseling sessions. It's not free. There's no free lunch in free time. People spend their time to keep talking to you, and you should pay for the time they are spending. I know a lot of people don't like that. That's why we don't have professionals. People just cancel you shortly and leave you, because you are not paying for the services that is being given to you. So be ready to go through therapy, especially if you have this kind of challenge in your relationship. Any form of mental abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. You cannot be free in isolation if you don't deal with any form of abuse. And let me say this to you in closing. You can't blame the people that have been that is abusive. They were messed up growing up. They were crippled both feet because war broke out. But one thing I tell people, if you have the will and you have the wish and you have the desire to change and work on yourself, your background should not put your back on the ground. You can choose to be the best version of yourself despite your background, despite where you are coming from. And it starts from inside, knowing fully well that I don't deserve this. Is it me that they are treating like this? No, I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be cared for. I deserve to be appreciated. I deserve to be validated. I deserve to be cared for. Know what you deserve. Go back to your mirror and scream it to your conscious and your subconscious mind. I deserve a better life. I deserve a lovely life. I deserve to be treated like a queen. I'm a queen. I'm a child of the Most High God. I deserve the best from this life. When you have that and you speak it to your life, you'll be shocked how God will rewrite your history, change your story, and you are going to be looking good. You are going to be enjoying your life. And whosoever is not happy about it, let them keep having headache. Headache is peculiar to the owner. It's not your business that they are not happy. Make yourself happy, live a happy life, and enjoy your life. If you are living in this kind of, you are with this kind of a person, and you are having this kind of relationship, it's not a place to be for life. Or else this woman will be 70, 80, if she didn't die, if she didn't end up in a mental home, and she won't have a child. And God will say, what are you doing there? I actually gave you 4 children. You came to this world with destiny of 4 kids. So why did you get yourself stuck in an abusive relationship and you are not moving out and you are not doing anything? I said it, don't get me wrong. if this woman takes a step to set boundaries, it can also be a wake-up call for this man to get back to life, get restored, and do family therapy, and life goes on. Once again, thank you so much for listening to me. I appreciate you so dearly. Please, your number, send me a text message. I don't pick calls, please, because I have, I'm on a Sunday, I'm on 9 radio stations, and people calling. So you can send me a WhatsApp, and it's also my voice note number, 080. Can we write it here? Somebody should help me to write it. 080 232 42389. 080 232 42389. That's the number to WhatsApp, to voice note, or text. And I promise I've answered almost 600 people today as I'm talking to you. It's kind of overwhelming. Please, your number, my number is 080 232 42389. Please don't call the number. I can take text message. If I have to call you, we'll chat and I'll tell you to call, or we can. Yes, thank you, smart Lola Devi. Thank you. 080 232 42389. That's the number to voice note, to WhatsApp, or to text. I promise, if you have to call, I'm repeating that intentionally, I'll definitely call you back, or I'll tell you to call me. Either ways, I appreciate you so dearly. Thank you. I'll see you when I have to come back to the platform.